Hey, what's up everybody? This is Unravel, where knowledge is power. Today we're going to discuss why a good sleep plays a vital role in good health and well-being throughout your life. So without wasting any time, let's get started. What happens if you're sleep deprived? High school student 15-year-old Ron Williams forced himself to stay awake for 264 hours. In 1965, Ron stayed awake for 11 days in order to study the reaction the human body has to a lack of sleep. First, his eyes stopped being able to focus. This development became obvious after only 2 days without sleep. After that, the ability to identify an object just by touching it became impossible. On the third day, Ron found himself very moody and without coordination. By the time the experiment reached an end, concentration and short-term memory were sacrificed due to the lack of sleep. He found himself becoming increasingly paranoid as well with some hallucinations. The upside is that he was able to recover successfully without long-term physical or psychological damage. However, it should be noted that others who have attempted to go without sleep have seen an imbalance in hormones, an increase in illness, and in very extreme cases, death. Sleep in itself is still a mystery. It's something that humans are only starting to understand why we do it. But something that is for certain, it's a necessary part of functioning life. Several experts state that adults need to have 7 to 8 hours a night of sleep, while adolescents need as much as 10. Our bodies will become sleepy when signals throughout it inform our brain that we're exhausted. Also, there are environmental signals that inform our brains that it's dark outside. These signals induce sleep by triggering chemicals that help with the process. The rise in the chemicals that induce sleep, adenosine and melatonin, will help us doze into a light slumber. That slumber will become deeper and our heart rate and breathing will slow down. DNA is repaired and our bodies will replenish for the next day. This is non-REM sleep. It's needed for normal functions and successful progress through the days following. An estimated 30% of adults in the United States suffer from sleep deprivation. 66% of adolescents experience the same. This is more than just an unfortunate statistic, it's a harmful predicament. We lose more than just sleep. Our memory, learning, mood, and even reaction time suffer. With sleeplessness, you may also experience inflammation, hallucinations, increased blood pressure, and more. It's even believed that obesity and diabetes can be linked to sleep deprivation. For one soccer fan, a lack of rest proved to be fatal. In 2014, in order to watch the World Cup, a soccer fan protested sleep for 48 hours. He then passed away. While the cause of death was a stroke, it's shown in some studies that the stroke risk of an average adult is increased under circumstances where the victim had rested for less than 6 hours a night. This lack of sleep will prove an increase in stroke risk by about 4 times compared to adults who get more than 7 hours of sleep. While this all sounds very serious, and it is, sleeplessness is a reality for a handful of unfortunate individuals who live with a rare genetic mutation. This condition is known as fatal familial insomnia. It will send the mind into a state of wakefulness that is comparable to that of a nightmare, and as the name suggests, it can be fatal. In fact, within years, if not months, dementia and death can be the result of this worsening condition. The question we ask ourselves is, how can losing sleep be so detrimental? Well, experts believe that the brain has the answers, or rather, the accumulation of waste products in the brain. During the hours we're awake, our cells use up the stored energy sources. The sources will convert into byproducts such as adenosine. Adenosine likes to build up, urging the brain to sleep. This is also known as sleep pressure. Caffeine will block those receptors in order to work. While other waste will build up in the brain, it causes the brain to overload. This directly results in negative symptoms and deprivation of sleep. So, how does sleep prevent this? Put in simple terms, our brains have a special system called the glymphatic system. Its purpose is to clean away the buildup. This system is most active when we're sleeping. This system works by using cerebral spinal fluid to wash away the toxic byproducts that have become crusted between the cells. There are other ways the brain self-cleanses. Scientists are actively researching and testing the restorative mechanisms that sleep hides. However, one thing is certain, we need sleep in order to maintain our sanity and well-being in a normal functioning life.